The Caribbean in the 18th century, a time and place where the line between reality and legend was often blurred. A vast and glittering expanse of turquoise water, stretching as far as the eye could see, inviting and mysterious. Islands fringed with white sand, swaying palm trees and hidden coves, each one a potential hideout for those seeking adventure or escape. It beckoned to adventurers, traders and rogues alike, a place where fortunes could be made or lost in the blink of an eye. But beneath the beauty, danger lurked. Treacherous waters and unpredictable storms were constant threats. This was a time of pirates. Ruthless and daring, they ruled the seas with an iron fist. The most feared pirates were not simply bloodthirsty buccaneers, they were cunning strategists and charismatic leaders. They were legends whispered around campfires. Stories of their exploits spread far and wide, growing more fantastical with each retelling. Tales of cursed treasures, undead pirates, and ships that could outrun the devil himself. These stories captivated the imagination. They sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest sailors. The fear of the unknown was a powerful force. The Black Pearl was one such legend, a ship that struck fear into the hearts of all who saw it. A fearsome ship with black sails that seemed to consume the sunlight. It was a harbinger of doom. It was said to be captained by the dreaded Captain Barbossa, a man whose name alone could instill terror. He and his crew were victims of an ancient Aztec curse, a curse that condemned them to a fate worse than death. But these were just stories, or were they? The line between myth and reality was often blurred in these waters. For a young woman named Elizabeth Swann, the line between myth and reality was about to blur. Her life was about to change forever. She would find herself caught in a thrilling adventure, one that would test her courage and resolve. It would test her courage and reveal the truth behind the legends of the Caribbean, a journey that would uncover secrets long buried. Elizabeth Swann was no ordinary governor's daughter. Confined by the expectations of Port Royal society, she yearned for freedom and adventure. Her heart longed for the open sea. She devoured stories of pirates, much to the dismay of her father, Governor Weatherby Swann. Elizabeth possessed a spirit as untamed as the Caribbean winds. She refused to be a mere lady-in-waiting. Her independent nature and sharp wit often clashed with the stuffy decorum of Port Royal. Little did she know, her life was about to change forever. One fateful day, a chance encounter with a mysterious pirate would set in motion a chain of events. It would draw her into the heart of the very legends she had always cherished. Elizabeth's life was about to become a real-life pirate adventure. Captain Jack Sparrow. The name was whispered in taverns and on the decks of ships. Some dismissed him as a drunken fool. Others saw a cunning pirate with a knack for survival. Jack was a rogue, a scoundrel, and a master of deception. He was a pirate who lived by his own rules, or rather, his lack thereof. With his kohl-rimmed eyes, tangled dreadlocks adorned with trinkets, and a swagger that could only be described as uniquely Jack, he was an enigma. His loyal companion, the rum-loving monkey named Jack, was a constant reminder that Sparrow was anything but ordinary. Jack's true motivations were always shrouded in mystery. He was a master of disguise and manipulation. His allegiances shifted like the sands. He always seemed to be one step ahead, pursuing his own secret agenda. One thing was for certain, wherever Jack Sparrow went, trouble and adventure were sure to follow. Will Turner, a young man of quiet strength and unwavering loyalty, lived a simple life in Port Royal. He was a master blacksmith, his days spent shaping metal over a fiery forge. But beneath Will's unassuming exterior lay a hidden past, a lineage tied to the very pirates he had come to despise. Bound to his trade, Will harbored a secret love for Elizabeth Swann. Their social divide seemed insurmountable. Yet fate, it seemed, had other plans. When Elizabeth's life was thrown into turmoil, Will would be forced to confront his past. He would embark on a perilous journey to save the woman he loved. It would test his courage and reveal the truth about his own connection to the legend of the Black Pearl. Will's skill with a sword would be tested as he faced down fearsome pirates. He would discover that his destiny was far more extraordinary than he could have imagined. Section 5. Captain Hector Barbossa, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Captain Hector Barbossa was a name that struck fear into the hearts of sailors across the Caribbean. His reputation as a ruthless and cunning pirate was well earned, and tales of his exploits spread like wildfire among the seafaring community. He was once Captain Jack Sparrow's first mate, learning the ropes of piracy under Sparrow's command. Their partnership was legendary, but it was not destined to last. Barbossa led a mutiny against Jack, leaving him stranded on a deserted island. This act of betrayal marked the beginning of Barbossa's rise to power and his eventual command of the Black Pearl. Barbossa then took command of the Black Pearl, a ship that would become synonymous with terror and piracy on the high seas. He and his crew sailed to Isla de Muerta, where they found the legendary treasure of Cortés' 882 pieces of Aztec gold. This treasure, however, was no ordinary bounty, but the treasure came with a terrible price, a curse. The gold was cursed, and anyone who took even a single piece would be doomed. Barbossa and his crew were now trapped between life and death, cursed to walk the earth as immortal beings. They were neither fully alive nor truly dead, existing in a state of perpetual torment. They could not feel the warmth of the sun or the taste of food. The curse stripped them of all sensory pleasures, leaving them in a hollow existence. They were forever bound to the world by their insatiable greed. The very treasure they sought to enrich their lives had become their eternal prison. Barbossa, driven by the curse, became obsessed with breaking it. His once clear ambitions were now clouded by a desperate need to reclaim his humanity. He believed that Elizabeth Swann held the key to ending their torment. Her blood, he thought, was the final piece needed to lift the curse. He was a formidable and ruthless pirate captain, willing to do whatever it took to lift the curse and reclaim his humanity. His determination knew no bounds, and he would stop at nothing to achieve his goal. Section 6. The Shadow of the Black Pearl, Elizabeth's Capture. The Black Pearl, a ghostly galleon with sails as dark as a raven's wing, silently slipped into Port Royal Harbor. It was a phantom ship, feared and whispered about in hushed tones. Its arrival signaled danger. The crew, led by the cursed Captain Barbossa, had come for Elizabeth Swann. Elizabeth, captivated by the tales of pirates, had unknowingly set in motion the events that sealed her fate. Years ago she had found a gold medallion among the wreckage of a ship. It was a piece of the very treasure that cursed Barbossa and his crew. The pirates, their skeletal forms hidden beneath cloaks and bandanas, descended upon the unsuspecting town. They snatched Elizabeth from her home, taking her aboard the Black Pearl. They believed she was the key to breaking their curse. Elizabeth, once captivated by pirate lore, now found herself staring into the face of true pirate terror. Section 7. The Curse of Cortés, Immortality and its Price. The Aztec curse that bound Barbossa and his crew was a cruel paradox. They were immortal, unable to die. But they were also unable to truly live. Moonlight revealed their true forms, skeletal figures trapped in a perpetual state of half-life. They could not feel the warmth of the sun, the taste of food, or the embrace of another. Their immortality was a prison. They were driven by an insatiable hunger for the pleasures they could no longer experience. They craved the feeling of life that had been stolen from them. They believed that by returning all 882 pieces of Aztec gold to the chest of Cortés, along with a blood sacrifice from someone who possessed the bloodline of a thief, the curse would be lifted. Driven by this desperate hope, Barbossa and his crew were relentless in their pursuit of the final piece of the treasure, the gold medallion in Elizabeth's possession. Section 8. The Medallion and the Moonlight, Breaking the Curse. Captain Jack Sparrow, with his own score to settle with Barbossa, struck a deal with Will Turner. Jack wanted to reclaim his beloved Black Pearl. Will wanted to rescue Elizabeth. Together, they commandeered a ship and set sail in pursuit of the Black Pearl. Their journey led them through treacherous waters and perilous encounters. They faced down monstrous creatures and fought off Barbossa's relentless pirates. Through it all, Jack's cunning wit and Will's unwavering determination kept them on the trail of the Black Pearl. They finally arrived at Isla de Muerta, the island where the treasure of Cortés was hidden. As the moonlight bathed the island in an eerie glow, revealing the skeletal forms of Barbossa's crew, Jack and Will knew they had to act quickly. The fate of Elizabeth and the breaking of the curse hung in the balance. Section 9. A Pirate's Life for Me. Jack Sparrow sails on. The final confrontation took place within the caverns of Isla de Muerta, the air thick with tension. Shadows danced on the walls as the pirates prepared for the ultimate showdown. Jack and Will, with the element of surprise on their side, battled Barbossa and his crew. The clash of steel echoed through the caverns, each strike a testament to their resolve. As swords clashed and pistols fired, The curse that had plagued the pirates for years hung heavy in the air. The stakes had never been higher, and every move could mean life or death. In a daring move, Jack tricked Barbossa. His cunning and wit were unmatched, turning the tide of the battle in their favor. He lifted the curse just as Will made the final blood sacrifice. The air seemed to crackle with energy as the ancient magic was undone. Barbossa, once invincible, was now mortal once more. The realization of his vulnerability dawned on him too late to change his fate. He fell to Will's sword, his reign of terror finally over. The cavern fell silent, the echoes of battle fading into the darkness. With the curse broken and Elizabeth safe, Jack Sparrow, true to his unpredictable nature, made his escape. His quick thinking and daring spirit ensured his freedom once again. He sailed away aboard the Black Pearl, the ship that was as much a part of him as his own soul. He left Will and Elizabeth to their newfound freedom. Their journey had been perilous, but they emerged stronger and more united than ever. As the sun rose over the Caribbean, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson, one thing was certain. Captain Jack Sparrow, the pirate who cheated death and outsmarted the devil himself, would sail again. His legend would continue to grow, inspiring tales of adventure and daring for generations to come.